All right, item E2 is consider presentation regarding the City of Round Rock Neighborhood Revitalization Program. Joe.
Excellent. Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Evening.
It is an absolute pleasure to be before you this evening. I remember about a year ago, when the last time I came before you, we were talking about this idea called the Tool Lending Center and how we were just about ready to deploy it for its very first maiden voyage on a downtown neighborhood cleanup. Well, I can tell you it has been an exciting and amazing year for our program, especially for the Tool Lending Center. So, for the benefit of those in the audience, the creation of my position and my program was a direct result of you all as council. You identified neighborhood revitalization and protection as a top priority during the strategic planning process. So I wouldn't be here, and the efforts of my program wouldn't be here if it wasn't for your vision and support. So I thank you very much for all of the support and direction you've helped give me to help guide my program, to help connect our neighborhood leaders with resources that we can provide both internally with the city and externally through our community partners. So tonight I'm going to give you a small sample of some of our community successes, and honestly I do have to call them community successes because I'm one man. I couldn't have done everything by myself. So all the achievements that we're going to be recapping tonight are really just in part to the wonderful partnerships that we have within the city and from outside the city. I can tell you from within the city, it's been just an absolute pleasure to work underneath Lori and Brian and Brooks, who give me complete support, as well as all of our various city departments. I work with literally every single department within the city on a daily basis, everybody from transportation and planning, fleet, PD, IT, Parks and Rec. Literally everybody has an impact on my program and a direct impact on neighborhoods, and it's been wonderful to work with dedicated professionals who take my program and our mission very seriously, and it's wonderful to work with them. Looking outside our organization, you've already heard from two of our pastors who are with me tonight. One of them is Pastor Benito Fresquez and Pastor Lee from Freedom Church and Pastor Tommy Estes from Faith Missionary Baptist. Those two churches have just been a godsend, literally, to work with on our various projects because through their caring and kindness and their congregation, they have supplied the manpower that has driven all of our various cleanup projects and special other projects we've done utilizing the Tool Lending Center. Specifically with our neighborhood cleanups, there are always residents in every neighborhood that are either elderly, disabled, had a recent surgery, recent illness, widowed, or has a spouse in the hospital, and couldn't physically participate in the cleanup by using the tools themselves to upkeep their property. So all these wonderful volunteers that we get from the church, they come out and they check out the tools and they help out these folks who have the genuine need. So it's wonderful to work with such excellent community partners like them. As well as some of the local businesses. Home Depot donated $6,250 worth of tools to help build a tool lending center. Legacy Tree Arbor Care donated thousands of dollars in discounted tree trimming services for that very first downtown neighborhood cleanup. So we're continually making new connections and community partners from outside our organization to help any new initiatives and things that come up. And we also have wonderful neighborhood leaders, the residents that live here in the neighborhood that set their own time aside to say, hey, you know what, I will volunteer to help lead the concerns and work on projects for the neighborhood. We have a great group of folks. I enjoy working with all of them. They have just an excellent outlook and real dedication. So one of the neighborhoods I'm most proud of is also one of our youngest neighborhood associations, and that was the Mesa Ridge Neighborhood Association. So I can't recap all of the wonderful things that every neighborhood is doing, but I do want to set Mesa Ridge aside and just tell you some of the stuff these guys have been working on over the last year. We conducted a neighborhood cleanup for them on November the 15th, and we've removed 50.75 tons of garbage out of that one neighborhood that weekend. And I'm very sure that Pastor Tommy Estes, who was up here earlier, is going to clearly remember that cleanup because it was about 52 degrees and rainy that day when we still had 30 church volunteers coming out and working on homes and doing things like that. So wonderful success there. One of the other things that they just finished up is a curb painting project. So one of the programs I offer is a curb painting kit where I supply neighborhoods with a stencil set and a starter set of paint, and residents, whether it's the neighborhood watch or neighborhood association, can borrow it and start painting curbs, address numbers on curbs throughout the neighborhood to make it easier for EMS and first responders to find the house in the event of emergency. Well, Mesa Ridge has just about 500 homes in it, and they just finished every single home in that neighborhood using the church volunteers, the Neighborhood Watch. So at an upcoming neighborhood meeting, we're going to present them with a little plaque to show our appreciation, congratulate them. Hopefully they're not watching right now, because I just ruined that surprise. They've also have done 2 neighborhood national night outs. They love National Night Out and our police department so much that they've even created an Operation ID event to commemorate the 6-month interval in between the National Night Outs, so they can still have time with PD, where we, our police department brings out the K-9 unit, McGruff, the crime dog, Officer Claypool brings out a child ID kit. We check out engravers to residents so they can engrave their driver's license numbers on their private property and things like that. So we still have these extra safety events in between that they love. And the more recent project that they just took on and getting ready to launch is as a result of the most recent neighborhood conference. Some folks from the Mesa Ridge neighborhood sat at the same table as Mike Freeman from the Greater Round Rock West neighborhood, and they were sharing about different programs that each neighborhood does that's successful. So that you can say, hey, if you like what we do, we'd love to help you do it too. And one of those programs that Greater Round Rock West does is they have American flags that they place throughout all the homes in the neighborhood on 4th of July and on Veterans holidays. Well, Mesa Ridge loved that deal so much, they wanted to do it this year. So they raised $300 within their own neighborhood to purchase these flags. So now for the first time, Mesa Ridge on 4th of July, if you drive through the neighborhood, they're going to have all the flags that the Neighborhood Watch is going to go through and place in front of all the homes. So this is just a small sample of what our neighborhoods are up to. So just a pleasure to be part of it. One of the other things that we got to do exciting this year is go to the NUSA conference. And NUSA stands for Neighborhoods USA, and this is the national group that represents neighborhood leaders, both volunteer from neighborhood associations, HOAs, and those city representatives like myself, where we can all come together and share success stories, we can network and all those kind of things. This year's NUSA conference was last month in Houston, and the city of Round Rock was selected to come out and be part of that conference, where we got to present our neighborhood cleanup program and tool lending center. In fact, Pastor Benito, out of his own pocket, paid the $200 registration fee and drove down to Houston and stayed the night in the hotel just to present with me for the one day and then come back to his congregation. So very thankful to have him with me. Together, we pitched our program to a packed room of folks from around the country. The conference had 1,000 attendees from across the country, and the idea was we wanted to share our tool lending center program and our neighborhood cleanup program with other cities so that they can adopt the program and they can have the same kind of success, or if not, hopefully more success than we're having in their own communities. And as a direct result of that, we've had 5 cities have contacted me since wanting to replicate our tool lending center from across the country. So that's really great. One of the other great things that came out of the NUSA conference is now we get to say that within 2.5 years of our neighborhood program being in existence, we are a national award-winning program. In a hotly contested best neighborhood program, we did place second, but it's still an honor to be part of that program and receive the award. And one of the other distinctions we get to make is that our tool lending center has already been replicated by our friends up north in Temple, Texas. So whenever I go to a neighborhood and talk about a tool lending center, I have to make the stipulation that we are the first mobile municipal tool lending center in the state of Texas. So thank you, Temple, but we did it first. So when I initiated and created the Tool Lending Center, one of the things I wanted to do was I wanted to track and hopefully be able to put some data and analytics to its impact. So anything I could attach data and metrics to, I did. And the data came back, and it was very, very interesting. So that data, along with some wonderful footage that Brian Ligon, our multimedia visionary, helped put together. He's put together a wonderful video that we showed at the conference that I think would be very beneficial as a recap to show the audience and the mayor and council what the Tool Lending Center is as far as our neighborhood cleanups and what it is outside of that cleanup and what kind of a resource this is for the entire community. So, Brian, thank you again for all of your help with that, and if you would, roll that footage.
The City of Round Rock's Tool Lending Center, the first municipal tool lending center in the state of Texas. When the Round Rock City Council made neighborhood revitalization and protection a top priority, the neighborhood program was created, and among other programs, the Tool Lending Center was born. The dream of developing a mobile tool lending center was helped when corporate partner Home Depot joined the vision and donated over $6,000 worth of tools. Loaded with hand and power tools, lawn mowers, trimmers, pole saws, gardening equipment, and safety equipment, the Tool Lending Center is ready to help with everything from lawn care to home repair. Round Rock's Tool Lending Center is designed to be deployed during neighborhood cleanups so residents and volunteers can check out tools at no cost, just like they would a library book, use it on their property, and then return it for someone else to use. Tool Lending Center deployments are generally accompanied by curbside trash pickup service. This allows residents to dispose of everything from old appliances and mattresses to green waste like tree branches and brush that are turned into free mulch for residents at our recycling center. Our neighborhood cleanups have become wildly successful and very inclusive thanks to our neighborhood and church leaders. Because every neighborhood has those residents that can't participate in the cleanups due to age, disability, or illness, the City and Neighborhood Association leadership work together to coordinate volunteers to lend them a helping hand.
It really didn't require a whole lot of time. I spent a lot of time probably just looking at the spreadsheet and looking it over and deciding what to put in and what order to put things in, since the ill, those that have been ill, those that were elderly, and others would probably come first. I thought it was quite rewarding. It didn't take that much time, and we had a feedback from a few of the neighbors that said they really enjoyed the volunteers, and the volunteers were so friendly and helpful and did so much work for some of these people.
Church leaders have been vital to the success of the cleanups. By spreading the word to their membership, the event is filled with volunteers ready to check out a tool from the Tool Lending Center and help those who have a genuine need.
What can we do? How can we partner with you with our energy, our resources, and not only that, our money, and find the biggest needs and be Jesus to some of these areas? So we were able to come up with an extra $2,000 to present to the Neighborhood Association this morning.
Oh, this means everything in the world to me because, like I said, I've been sick since last June, and I had no way to pay someone to come out and do it. So they're doing a wonderful job. These people have been so nice, and they wanted me to go out and show them everything that I wanted done, and they're doing it.
Being a part of the program has been extremely rewarding for everyone involved. And because they have such a positive experience, volunteers sign up time and time again.
It's just nice to be able to show up, have everything ready to roll, not have to worry about where are my things when I'm done. Everyone locates. We were able to use car transporting space instead of having to have cars full of materials to take. Very much utilized stuff. I didn't have to worry about whether my stuff started or not. Everything was ready to grab and go. We were able to get to work and then get the job done pretty quick.
The proof, as usual, is in the numbers. In 1 year, the City of Round Rock has conducted 6 neighborhood cleanups using the Tool Lending Center. In those 6 neighborhoods, which include 3,173 homes, we have been able to help remove over 209 tons of garbage and worked on 72 homes in need, thanks to the 543 volunteers that donated 2,198 hours of their time. And it's not just neighborhood cleanups. The Tool Lending Center has been deployed 14 times during its first year to assist in projects ranging from scouting projects to leadership and civic groups. Recently, the 6th grade student body president at Round Rock's Hernandez Middle School worked with his teacher, Lisa Smith, to organize building a sustainable garden at the school. By using the city's Tool Lending Center and with help from Home Depot and volunteers from Freedom Church, a fenced, 6-bed, 1,200 square foot sustainable garden was built.
I knew Joe from my work on my homeowner association board, and he had said, you know, when you have a project, let me know, and we'll get volunteers, we'll help you do this. And he showed up with this fantastic trailer full of everything we could possibly use. I mean, we were running out of screwdrivers that day, and he even had those handy, everything from the wheelbarrows to the shovels to the everything. But that saved our necks that day. This is a living classroom. Our science classes can use it. Our math classes can use it. All of our students can use it, and not just for food. It's that ripple effect. When you throw the rock, you impact everything.
In its 20 deployments during its first year, the Tool Lending Center has had more than 800 volunteers check out over 600 tools, while they donated 3,300 hours of service within the city. All that time and energy has an estimated worth of $73,000, which has been poured back into our neighborhoods. But honestly, the effort given by the volunteers is priceless. The Tool Lending Center is available for any organized cleanup effort in Round Rock, anytime, anywhere, and always free of charge. If you have an organized project that needs tools, then give it some TLC, the Tool Lending Center. To reserve the Tool Lending Center, contact Joe Brehm at jbrehm@roundrocktexas.gov or at 512-341-3148.
Excellent. Thank you. And thank you again, Brian. Simply a masterpiece of visual art. So again, that's just one of the programs that we get to work on through our my mission here. And, that's just the first year of the Tool Lending Center. I think it's only going to gain in popularity, and that's just going to be steamroll. In fact, just today I got a call from another pastor who wants to use it on July the 5th for another school project that he's got some church volunteers for. So with that, I would just like to kind of close by sharing the philosophy that kind of guides my mission here, and that is to revitalize neighborhoods by giving them the opportunity to partner with the city and have access to resources to help themselves. So with that, again, I do thank you for all of your support and guidance in the creation of my program. I'm happy to take any questions, and then I have to book it across the street to the library because I have an Edgar Acres Neighborhood Association meeting that's going on, and we're actually planning a neighborhood cleanup for them in the fall. So with that, I'm available for any questions.
Council questions of Joe? I'll just say that I remember the days, and it started actually with Mayor Maxwell, when the neighborhood program really involved nothing more than getting the HOA, some of the HOA presidents together once a quarter to talk about stuff. And that carried on a while. And then when you came, you took this whole program to a level we never even imagined, and you all know that Joe's basically a rock star out in the neighborhoods because of he's the go-to guy when there's something that needs to be done. So I just want to commend you for the work you're doing, and like I say, you've taken this to levels that we never imagined. So thank you very much.
Excellent. Well, thank you. It's all community success. So thank you.
Thanks.